presents the Channel 15 High School Basketball Game of the Week as the Thornridge Falcons square off with the Joliet Township Steelmen. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dave Bernhardt, along with, as always, my partner Frank Palmasani, and tonight we bring you a pair of teams that only have 6 losses between them. Both have been ranked in the top 16 in the state, and Frank, here on a Tuesday evening, both teams have something to prove.
They sure do, you know, and it's going to be really interesting, too, because I think we'll have a study tonight in how much each team has valued based on the competition they've played. Both teams have outstanding records, but look who they've lost to, Dave. I mean, you're talking about the top teams. When they lose a game, they don't just lose to anybody. They lose to one of the top teams.
Joliet's 2 losses, of course, have come to Peoria Manual and Cardinal Ritter of St. Louis. How about Thornridge? Their losses have come to Peoria Manual, Farragut, Thornton, and Proviso West. 2 outstanding teams, great competition. One thing we're going to see tonight, Frank, is quickness.
You know, sometimes when you go to the game, you enjoy watching contrasting styles, big players against quickness, or you watch contrasting tempos. But tonight, what we're really going to see are athletes on the floor, great teams implementing quickness. Maybe Mike Flaherty's quickness will be implemented a little differently, maybe not with the man-to-man pressure that Joliet uses, maybe with more traps, but you'll see quick, intense players going after one another.
Take a look at the team stats in this ball game, how these 2 teams match up. Very, very similar. Both teams, of course, feature the quickness, so you'd expect the stats to be very close to each other. Both teams outscoring their opponents by about 11 points per game. They out-rebound their opponents by about 7, 8, 9 rebounds a game. They limit their opponents to about 45% shooting. Both very similar on the free throw line. They're terrible. Both these 2 coaches are pumped up for this game. You may not know it by their comments here in the pregame. Mike Flaherty, he returns to Thornridge after a 1-year absence. More about that later. Mike O'Connell, he's had his share of big games. We had a chance to talk to both of these 2 head coaches for their comments before the game.
He's a great player. He's kind of an inside-outside player. He's very strong. They make it difficult because they've got such good shooters in Mines and in House, and they're just real well coached, and they do a good job. So we need to be prepared for a lot of things, I think.
What impact, having played the schedule that you have this year, what impact will that have tonight?
Well, you know, hopefully as the season goes on, the difficult teams that we've played throughout the course of the year, you know, that's going to kind of be an asset. We'll have a little more confidence, hopefully, and just be a little better prepared, I guess, for what awaits us.
Well, I got to see him go a week ago Friday against Thornton, and Thornton, I believe, is 20-1. And I tell you, they're a heck of a team. Very athletic. They do a lot of half-court trapping, some pressure man-to-man, and they work hard on offense. So we got our hands full tonight.
This year, you've come up big in the big games. What are your feelings right now?
A little worried that we're going 2 in a row here. You know, with Lincoln Way, that really was a big game. Lincoln Way played their heart out. Here we got back-to-back big games, and how we're going to react. Been a little bit of distraction here with Gary being on Oprah. Hopefully Gary comes out ready to play. He has gotten up for the big games this year, and I'm sure he'll be up tonight.
Players, and that will be no different here tonight. Individual scoring in this game could be a matchup between John Lott and Gary Bell for Thornridge. John Lott will average about 19 points a game, help from Jermaine Hicks and Kashawn Combs. 48 points per game average from those 2. On the Joliet side, how about this? This game is so evenly balanced. 48 points from their top scorers. Of course, Gary Bell, 3 of his last 5 games have been 30-plus point performances. On the boards, this is where this ball game could be decided. Thornridge will get their rebounds once again from John Lott. They get help from Darrell Russell and also Kashawn Combs. On the other side, of course, for Joliet, Gary Bell becomes a man-child underneath. Clarence Bates is coming on. The big 6'5" sophomore, and Joel House will help out as well. Okay, these 2 teams combined 34-6. It figures to be a tight one, Frank. How about the keys to this one?
Well, I think from Thornridge's standpoint, obviously, in talking to Mike Flaherty, he talked about Gary Bell, how his players always have to be conscious of Gary, and he's going to have to work for every shot. No easy shots around the basket. He wanted his perimeter players to be conscious of Mines and House. Always have a hand in their face, be aware they're on the floor. In their zone defensive rotation, they're going to have to be aware of those 2 shooting threats. And then he has to get his big 3 involved offensively. Coombs, Hicks, they all have to be very involved, and along, obviously, with Lott, who leads offensively. All 3 have to start the attack. Mike O'Connell on the Joliet side, big thing he wants is a 32-minute game, Dave. He doesn't want a situation where he's got the lull during the course of the game. He's hoping for 32 minutes of intensity. The other big keys on his standpoint is he wants his players to recognize the different defenses they might see, react to those defenses, and still stay very aggressively. And the third thing, I think obviously, Joliet's got to take advantage of what they can get inside. They've got to hammer the ball into Gary Bell and prove that Thornridge can stop him around the basket.
Great team to have only lost a great team. Something has to give here tonight. It's Thornridge and Joliet Township, and it's our Channel 15 High School Basketball Game of the Week. Starting lineups coming up next.
From one end of the television spectrum to the other, WCTV 15 brings you important programming coverage of Will County happenings, political events, local sports coverage, volunteer television, and public affairs programs are a small part of our daily schedule. Live coverage of local sporting events, plus audience phone-in shows such as Inside Local Sports and The Tube. Serious, funny, and everything in between, bringing you the best of your community. WCTV 15, your community connection.
The Disney Channel comes alive in '95 with exciting musical events. World television premieres.
Say hello to the first Jamaican bobsled team.
An original 4-hour miniseries.
Quilp! How did you get in?
Classic Disney animation.
Say, that's pretty swell.
And current award-winning blockbusters.
It is the top matchup in the state of Illinois on a midweek game. It is the Thornridge Falcons and the Joliet Township Steelmen. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dave Bernhardt along with Frank Palmasani. The Steelmen 18-2, Thornridge 16-4. And let's go to public address announcer John Brubaker for the starting lineups.
Falcons. Now the starting lineup for Thornridge. Starting at guard, number 11, Jermaine Hicks. At guard, number 34, Brad Martin. At forward, number 20, Ryan Bannis. At forward, number 33, Barry Barr. And at center, number 50, Daryl Russell. The Falcons are coached by Mr. Mike Flaherty and assisted by John Wheeler. And now the starting lineup for your Steelmen. Starting at guard, number 11, Rory O'Connell. At guard, number 23, Michael Mines. At forward, number 10, Joe House. At forward, number 40, Gary Bell. And at center, number 44, Clarence Space. Steelmen are coached by Mr. Mike O'Connell and assisted by Bob Koskowski and Mike Lutz.
All right, so we take a look at the starting lineups in this ball game that finds Thornridge, well, they're operating maybe a little bit short-handed temporarily. They've had some players this week with some illness problems, so Mike Flaherty has had to juggle things a little bit. There's, you know, you don't practice, you don't start a ball game rule. Some of the players are a little bit weakened. John Lott not in the starting lineup. We will see John Lott certainly in this ball game. Now, the other important factor to take care of, it's on the Joliet Township side. It involves Clarence Bates. You know, ever have one of those days or feelings where you know when you say something, it's not right and you don't know why? I said Bates' nickname was Skip. My apologies to Clarence. It is Chip Bates. We all know that. I know that. I cringed when I heard the tape and heard Skip. Clarence reminded me of it before the ball game, and so did Mama. So our apologies. Chip Bates. And we will go either by Chip or Clarence, but we know right now he is going to jump it up at center with Daryl Russell. These two teams have lost just 6 games combined between them.
Dave, one of the other interesting things may be the fact that
as you pointed out to me, Sika is experimenting on Tuesday nights with 3 referees, and we'll see if having 3 officials influences the number of fouls that are called in the game.
Mines lobs ahead to House. Chip gets up hard and Bates the first 2.
Right away taking advantage of that size opportunity on the backboard, on the offensive glass. Bates with a big score.
He's coming off an 11 rebound game Friday evening against Lincoln Way.
Typical tough Joliet pressure on defense.
Up top is Brad Martin, and he will hand back to Jermaine Hicks. Hicks, a 5'7" senior. He is a spark for this team. Big Darrell Russell outside. He is guarded by Gary Bell. A couple of big bodies there.
Thornridge running the flex offense, the one that has really become popular in the last 5-7 years of high school and college basketball. Down screens and cross screens.
Russell on the dribble. Banis, the penetration, and well too hard. Bates, his second rebound early. 1 minute in, 2-0 Joliet Township lead.
Attempting to open up in traps. Joliet recognizes right away Gary Bell plays what most would call a guard position. He's one of the perimeter players against that half-court trap defense.
Personal foul goes against Barry Barr. Steelman will set it up top with Rory O'Connell at the point. Joel House with it.
Extended 1-3-1 look. Dribble penetration, good job.
Finds Bates alone underneath. Clarence Bates with 4 early points.
Gary Bell is able to create so much for his partners when he takes the ball in the perimeter and looks through the lane. Clarence Bates working hard underneath the basket. Bell with a good pass.
One of the worries Mike Flaherty had was what was going to happen on the backboards.
If Mike Flaherty has his way, his team will pass the ball 5, 6, 7 times before they shoot it.
Hicks to the glass.
Hicks can do so much for you. A little guy who loves to get inside of defenses. That time he took the ball baseline side.
House pulls up from 15.
Again, we talk about it every time we watch a Joliet team. They do as good a job of any as bringing the ball up the floor quickly and pushing it to the sideline. You either get a jump shot or you get the follow-in pass on the block. That time House got the jumper.
Early 4-point lead for the Steelmen.
Good screens on the part of Thornridge.
Walking on the big guy, Darrell Russell, 6'3" senior. Goes about 220, 225. And John Lott moves into the game, number 22. He replaces Ryan Banis rather.
We knew it wasn't going to take long for John Lott to get in there.
Lott averaging over 20 points per game, actually 18.6 points per game. He's coming off a 20-point effort. Bell fakes a 3 and shuffles the feet.
Notice how the dribble penetration keys an opportunity for a baseline shot. But Thornridge, like the real good 1-3-1 teams, really extend their wings in the passing lane. They jump into your lanes, which forces the baseline player to be further and further into the corner for that shot.
Kashun Combs into the ball game. This is John Lott. His running mate, Jermaine Hicks.
Bates on Lott right now. That'll be an interesting matchup to watch.
The penetration, the lean in, the rebound, Bell.
In the flex, after you pass it 5 or 6 times, you're going to take the one-on-one opportunity if you can get it.
Brad Martin had the shot, would not go down. Nice catch inside from Chip Bates.
Again, same pass we talked about earlier. Bell able to see through the defense. He throws the ball right down to the block area. Mike Flaherty has his hands out saying, what are we doing on defense? How can we let the ball go from high post directly down into the low post area?
Chip Bates has been a factor here early, very active offensively. 4 early points for the junior. Only 51% free throw shooter from the line, however.
Well, it's really interesting because before the game, Dave, you commented on how the fact neither of these teams have distinguished themselves from the free throw line. And when you talk about Achilles heels and you talk about the situation where you'd really like to see the incremental improvement on the part of a Joliet club, here's what can occur. All of a sudden, if you can start picking up some free throw percentages going in your behalf as you approach tournament time, what a big lift that could be for the Steelmen.
6 of JT's early points by way of Chip Bates. And it is a 6-point lead. Martin picks up the dribble. Pull up Lott. He leaves it short. Russell is fouled by Bates.
Notice the discipline on the part of Lott. He came up to the high post in that flex offense, and as soon as Clarence Bates came in, overplayed, he knew right away the back door, and the passer knew where to deliver the ball to.
Trying to decide on who will trigger the inbounds. Brad Martin, 5'10" senior, to do the honors.
A little confusion on the part of Thornridge getting the ball in.
Hicks, give it up to Martin. And we've had our third travel in about a minute and a half.
You know, I think sometimes I watch games and I don't know if the officials, you know, are overly conscious with that particular call, but you see it more and more. The ball fake on the perimeter, take the ball to the basket. Invariably, you see officials whistle and a traveling call.
House picks it up. The Mines. Away from the ball, a 3-second call. And maybe, Frank, here early, we are seeing the effect of the 3 officials.
Well, you know, there's a call that, you know, you might see on occasion. With 2 referees, there's so much to watch for. It's a call that oftentimes goes unnoticed and it doesn't get called.
Martin works against O'Connell.
A lot of quickness on the floor.
Hicks is held in the lane. Jermaine Hicks, little guy, 5'7", averages 13 points per game. Missed the Thornton game, and that was, he was involved in the school suspension. Missed the Thornton game. Falcons hung tough with the Wildcats. Thornton, of course, has only lost 1 time this year. Another one of the losses to Peoria Manual. John Lott missed that game. So these teams have 4 quality losses. We talked about in the pregame. 2 of those have come with key, very key performers out of the lineup. Lott goes right around Bates, gives it off Russell. 1 pump and up. No. Own rebound.
Great pass by Lott. Russell hesitated, had the opportunity to take it right now, instead went with the ball fake, and Joliet is still quick enough to alter shots even after the fake. You know, you talk about not necessarily being at full strength. I don't think Mike Flaherty feels even now he's at full strength. He has all of his players, but because of the flu and so forth, they may not be playing at 100%.
Lott glides his way in, and House away with it.
Great pass. Oh.
Well, you thought he was going the same direction I did.
Looked like that was a wide open opportunity. House, all he had to do was make the easy pass to the player in front of him. He elected to make a little bit of the behind pass to the left side, and as you saw, it went out of bounds.
4 minutes into the game, it's an 8-2 Joliet lead. Steelman defense has been tough. Thornridge shots will not go down. Lott so very quick.
All you have to do, if you're a college coach, all right, right now I've come to the game and I hear that there's some good players. I sit down, I have to see 1 move. That's all I gotta watch. That 1 move, and I want that guy. I mean, there's a body. You see that quickness on the floor? He shows ball, boom, he's gone. All you gotta do is watch 1 play, that's it.
John Lott is capable of huge nights. He has been somewhat inconsistent at times, and this is in a very relative sense, of course. Lott, 6'4½", senior.
6'4½". That's another thing that excites you, because here's a guy that can put the ball on the floor away from the basket, shoot the ball over the top, and then, as we just saw, fake and take it to the hole.
Lead cut in half at 8-4. O'Connell has it poked away by Lott. Banis can't get it up to Lott quick enough, and the quickness from Joel House will turn it the other way.
One of the things we've seen all year on the part of Joliet is when they do turn the ball over, they retreat very quickly and oftentimes create a turnover on the comeback.
Big mismatch here. Oku Satcher into the game. O'Connell is open. His dad would like to see him shoot the ball a little bit more.
And his dad, from a coaching standpoint, you know, I think he knows that if Rory can substantiate himself from the perimeter, that's really going to help his team.
Now here's a matchup of potential All-Staters, Lott and Bell. Martin will go to Hicks right wing.
Watch this. Oh, you just got to love it. There it is. Gary Bell, All-Staters. Defense wins out.
But we go the other way, out of control. A 2-on-3. Lott leads the way. Back to Martin. And O'Connell with the rebound off the floor.
Oh, what a beautiful pass. Satcher running the floor. Rory O'Connell seeing the floor.
You had about a width of a basketball to get that thing through. 12-4 JT. Hicks the other way.
Is there quickness out here or what? Oh, my Lord.
Jermaine Hicks. Oku Satcher, the foul, the bucket will count.
Really interesting there as Thornridge pushed the ball off the floor, and the floor was a little spread, and Jermaine Hicks just saw that opening, and he took off right now.
You see both coaches going to their bench. Lester Wilson will move into the game for Thornridge. He will replace Ryan Bannis. Lowry Moody into the Steelman lineup as Rory O'Connell will have a seat. Still have 2:35 to play in the first quarter, and we've seen some great athletic play. And now a timeout here early. Thornridge will take it. It will come with 2:35 to play in the first quarter. The Falcons down 12-7. Joliet Township's 2 losses this season. You know, we've talked about Thornridge's quality losses. How about a loss to Peoria Manual, the state's top-ranked team in the Pontiac tournament, and then that overtime loss to Cardinal Ritter up at DePaul. That is it.
3 losses in 2 years, is that right?
Yes, sir. You know, and a lot of people, when you have the high expectations, as people do have of Mike O'Connell's team, they expect you to dominate people 30 points game in and game out. The bottom line to me is what you just said, 3 losses in 2 years and what, 50-some games.
Winning and winning consistently. And when you lose, it's always a competitive game. It's down to the wire, and it's one of the supreme teams. You know, I look back on that game, the Carbondale game last year. I saw the game not live, on television, and I just marveled at the quality of play on both teams. To me, Carbondale played what people say perhaps was the best game all year with some outstanding players. And again, it was a very competitive game that Joliet took to the wire. And I think that's been characteristic of the competitive nature of Mike's players.
And tonight, JT facing a team that is certainly capable of playing down on that big floor as well. Nice catch from Bell, and he will kiss it in.
Key timeout. Mike Flaherty called it. It was a Thornridge timeout, but Mike O'Connell used it well. Right from the bench, they said, we're going to get the ball into Gary Bell this time. They did, and he scored.
Kashawn Combs with it. He's really been suffering from the flu this week. Mike Flaherty did not know how much he would play. Hicks thought he saw something there. House tried to call a timeout, and he got it.
Oh, jeez. That is just wonderful, quick thinking play, hustling to get the ball in bounds, and able, while he's under control, call timeout before he goes out.
It is a midweek game here for our Game of the Week on Channel 15, and the next boys' Game of the Week, well, will be, what, a couple of weeks away, because now we turn our attention to the girls' tournament side. Can you believe that it's time for the tournament to play for the girls? Coming up next week in our Game of the Week, it will be girls' regional action, a site to be announced, and of course we will follow them right on through the Super Sectional if we can get a team to advance that far. And last year, it was Joliet Township on both sides that took us into the Super Sectional and beyond. Both teams, of course, made the final 8 in the state. Both teams have designs on advancing a bit farther this year.
Well, Dave, you know, I have now a much more appreciation for girls basketball. I just got completed coaching my daughter's 5th grade team. Had an opportunity to watch girls compete in a level. It's basically for the first time they've seen a basketball. It was an interesting experience, to say the least.
You know, they have really come a long way. I mean, I can remember the first state tournament for girls basketball, and it is a completely different game now.
It really is, and I think what I learned, you know, having coached them, is that coaching is coaching. I mean, you teach the game, no matter who you're teaching it to, the same way. And so as their game has developed and the coaches have developed and they've become, indeed, you know, everything I think has improved in terms of the level of play and the quality of coaching and so forth.
Dwayne Edmond ran out of room right in front of head coach Mike O'Connell, and Mike was not too happy about that. Steelman still have that doubled up lead at 14-7 underneath 2 minutes in the first quarter of play. Combs with it. He'll give it off to Lott. Martin looks inside. Instead goes to Lester Wilson. He glides to the hole. Big left hand of Gary Bell was there. Lowry Moody in the right spot at the right time.
Gary Bell got up in the air. It gave you the impression he was actually going to shoot that shot, but he saw, indeed, in the air that he was defensed tightly, and he gave the ball up.
First foul of the night on John Lott.
Thornridge changing defense on the fly here.
Dwayne Edmond up top. Michael Connell has gotten some great minutes from him in recent weeks. Once again, off the ball, Gary Bell was held inside.
Brad Martin trying to play defense one-on-one against Gary Bell and getting as low as he possibly can, leaning into Bell. Official catches it.
Brad Martin's first personal, fourth on Thornridge.
Thornridge again changing defense now into 1-3-1 set. Create a turnover.
Martin has the path cut off by House. And with a minute left, Jermaine Hicks will make a decision here. He's guarded by Blowry Moody. Blowry cut from the team last year, football player, came out, and he has been a key contributor, giving Mike some good minutes on the floor.
And Blowry doing a good job of disrupting the offensive flow of Thornridge by putting pressure on Jermaine Hicks.
Hicks is quick. And they have to hold him up top to prevent him from penetration further into that lane.
They'd like ball rotation to get through Hicks's hands, so when the ball goes from side to side, if you disrupt the passing lane to Hicks, you disrupt that offense.
Sixth foul on the Steelman.
And again, Michael Connell, multiple players using substitutions quite regularly here in the first half.
Lester Wilson makes a great attempt. With 33 seconds left in the first quarter, Joliet has been in control here in the first period. They lead at 14-7. Bell will meet the inbounds, looking for his pal Oku Satcher. Finds him. Oku is bumped from behind.
Right away, dumped the ball inside off the out-of-bounds play.
We've had a number of whistles here early on. Kashan Combs. Check that, Nick Peterson rather than Combs. O'Connell will bring it up top.
They'll hold for one. They've been very consistent throughout the year. Joliet likes to take that last shot of the quarter. Don't rush things. Take their time. They'll go down to about 8 here. Now they go to work, 8 seconds on the clock.
Edmond, lean in. That will end it. Steelman doubled them up at the end of one. 14-7 JT over Thornridge.
If you're wondering what the heck the Tube is, you're definitely missing out.
The Tube is Chicagoland's only live music video show where you could win every single week.
We give away CDs, cassettes, premium channels, and even concert tickets.
Plus, we play all the chart-topping hits, and we let you decide what's going to be the top 2 requests of the night. What could be more fun?
Nothing as far as I'm concerned, so join us live every Thursday at 8 p.m. for the Tube, live, Continental Cablevision.
WCTV, Channel 15, the best of local sports, public affairs, and community events.
Basketball fans, a chance for you to meet the Joliet Township Steelmen up close next week on Inside Local Sports. Mike O'Connell and his team will be around. We'll talk to the state's third-ranked team. Also, wrestling news coming up. That's ILS Live Wednesday at 6:30.
David, Joliet has given a very talented, quick Thornridge team 7 points in this quarter. Again, I think you really have to, sometimes we just take Joliet's defense for granted. We see it so often, we see all this pressure, we just know it's there. That's really an amazing statistic.
Thornridge averages 64 points per game. And the pick from Satcher. Oku's hammered, but you know what? He didn't even flinch.
No, it doesn't bother him. plays the game the way it should be played, hard all the time, always looking for opportunities to make an aggressive move to help his team.
Kashan Combs with the foul. Oku to the line, and we had a chance to see Oku in his first appearance back from that ankle injury, the broken ankle, against Lincoln Way. And you could tell he just wasn't quite in basketball shape yet. He looks a little bit quicker, a little more in tune here in the early going tonight.
Well, you know, and we commented before Friday's game, I think Oku Satcher's a real lift for this team. I think he's the type of player that, you know, you're not going to see the lift necessarily in the statistics, but I think the presence on the floor means a great deal to the chemistry of the club.
Steelman 4 of 4 from the line. Oku with 4, 16-7 the Steelman lead.
Nice touch by Oku Satcher at the free throw line. Another area of the game that where he could add some impotence to the Joliet attack.
Now it's Mines versus Hicks. Every time Hicks comes down the floor, he's staring into the face of a different JT player.
Different offensive set in the spread out, trying to go inside.
Oh, John Lott gets there.
Lott again.
They will not count the bucket, the foul on Mines, and that is his third.
Spread out to one side, run Lott in on the box, trying to drive the ball right down into him. They do a good job, Thornridge does it, getting into him, and then it's up to John Lott to do his thing with his back to the basket.
Lott held just a pair of free throws in the first quarter. I don't know, Frank. I don't know who the person was that gave me these stats on these two teams from the free throw line. They haven't missed yet. What do we say? Coming into this game, they were 54% and 57% respectively for Thornridge and JT. They haven't even hit the rim.
Touch, what touch. Thornridge going into the diamond press right away to the middle of the floor. Look at Joliet. Look at this.
Mines will bring it back out. Bell wants 3. Satcher, great inside position. That's the Oku Satcher that Joliet fans are accustomed to seeing.
Every dimension of the floor, Joliet's got covered. You've got a 6'6" player that shoots the three-pointer, the ball doesn't go down, and then you got the stud around the hole to get you the second shot.
Lott inside on a second chance.
Thornridge keeps the backcourt pressure up. There's a shooter that hasn't shot tonight.
A little bit long.
Michael Mines has not had an opportunity to get his shot off. Talked about the fact that that was one of the keys for Mike Flaherty, very conscious of Mines on the floor. Mines has not had much opportunity, but you know as well as I do, Dave, he can go out there and hit 5, 6, 7 shots in a row for you very easily.
More rotation of players from JT. Dwayne Edmond, a little guy inside. Mike Flaherty across the way, not happy with his club, the way they worked on the on defensive boards. They're looking up at a 9-point deficit. Martin on the left wing.
Discipline on defense, very excellent on the part of Joliet.
Will not go down for the Falcons. Combs a wide open 10-footer.
Again, sideline break. What a nice pass.
House away with it. Foul on Thornridge.
So many things can open up when you push the ball up the sideline on a break like that. You run it into the corner, you can get your jumper. You can hit the guy cutting to the basket, running to the block. You can hit your trailer, or you can do what Joe House did, and that is penetrate into the interior of the defense, right through the middle of the lane, before the defense gets down and gets set.
Fresh bodies on every part of the floor here. Joliet has already gone 9 deep into their lineup. Thornridge has gone 10 deep. Of course, sign of two quality teams that have both been ranked. 6 minutes to play in the first half. 9-point Joliet lead. Maybe more. Edmond.
Oh, my Lord. Here you go, your 8th or 9th player, maybe 7th player. Edmond off the bench, a good, quick, hard dribble to his left, pull-up jumper.
Once again, it's about the 4th time we've said it, but the Steelmen have doubled up the Falcons. Rollinson gives inside to Russell, and the defensive pressure starting to wear a little bit here on Thornridge.
Right now, Thornridge, I agree, definitely wearing on him. Joliet just keeps coming.
Edmond swishes one and airballs one. This is Lott. That's Hicks. That's 2. Joliet will reset the offense. Skip pass Edmond. A foul on, looks like it'll be on Shelley Rollinson. Rollinson, a 6'4" senior. Rollinson, one of the normal starters, that did not get the call here this evening.
You know, interesting, Joliet has played extremely well without Gary Bell on the floor here. You know, Gary's been out for a period of time. A great opportunity to rest. Actually, with the rotation and the system that Mike uses, so many players can stay fresh. This is a great opportunity for Gary to settle out, back off a little bit, and Joliet doesn't miss a beat.
Well, from what you've seen, do you see a pattern of substitution, or do you see a situation substitution? I mean,
no, I guess my general perspective is Mike substitutes in a pattern. You know, I believe that he, makes a conscious effort going into the game to play his 8, 9, 10 sometimes in the first half, make sure everybody gets that experience in the first half, and then more relates to situation substitution in the second half of the game, especially in the closing quarter.
Dwayne Edmond has 6 points. He, Satcher, and Bates all with 6. Will stay down at this end of the floor, and that is a great sign right there. Bates, Edmond, Satcher, all averaging down below, 5, 6 point per game average. Gary Bell has but 1 bucket here this evening. He's coming off a 34-point effort.
I agree with you. I think it's a tremendous sign.
24-13 the lead. Tip out Edmond.
Thornridge just has not had good shots, not good looks at the basket.
House wanted this one.
Too much pressure on the perimeter.
Martin with 4.5 minutes to play in the first half. Lott goes right around House, and which way will this go? Against JT, Lott to the line.
But right away, one of the coaches on the Joliet bench, I was watching a place, I don't know which one, as soon as we saw the ball in Lott's hand, where's the help? He didn't even have to take the ball and put it on the floor. Right away, where's the help? Offside defense, help side defense. What does that mean? If you're on the ball side, you pressure. If you're away from the ball, you're always conscious of helping your teammates, indeed, against the dribble drive to the basket. When Lott has the ball in his hands, that's what you're anticipating.
Ford and House out for Joliet. Flowery, Moody, and Gary Bell back in. Lester Wilson in for the Falcons. 8 points for Lott. The average is 18.6. Get a look at Mike Flaherty.
Thornridge, as we expected, changing up defensively.
Bell triple team, and a little bit too high for Bates, and a little miscommunication there.
Bell looking for what he got earlier, the pass, didn't execute it well, had the right idea.
Kind of in a little lull right now. You know, we've become accustomed to seeing that in Joliet games.
Joliet changing defenses. Now they go to a little 1-3-1 trap themselves.
Holmes in the corner. Woo! Wicked pass inside from Lester Wilson.
Had the look, had the idea. Awfully tough pass to handle. Hopefully Satcher, again, having an opportunity to make another contribution here before the end of the half.
Again, this is his second game back. Been very easy for him to say, no, I'm going to Illinois on a football scholarship. I don't need basketball. But he certainly has some goals in mind for this team.
Oh, great job. Good in and out pass.
Didn't pay off. Satcher there to take the charge.
Hanging around the basket. Good things happen when you hang around.
Gary Bell was there, but Satcher was the man that set up a potential charge and created the turnover. 26-15, Steelman lead.
1-3-1 half-court trap. Too much space.
Three-pointer for Lott.
John Lott, we talked about it earlier, his capacity to shoot away from the basket, take the ball to the hole.
That is his 31st three-pointer of the year. He has 11 points, 11 of the Falcons' 18 in the first half. They still trail by 8. Thornridge will stay in the zone. Bell sees the opening. They're going to get Lott for a push. Edmond went flying out of there as he was crashing to the boards. John Lott, his second foul. Coming up at halftime, Frank will chat with another one of the area's great players. We saw him in action a couple of weeks ago. Plainfield's Nate Fox in attendance.
That'll be fun. I'll enjoy talking to Nate. Love watching him play.
One-on-one opportunity for Edmond. Dwayne's perfect on the night, 3 of 3 from the line. He has 7 points. He leads his club in scoring. His season high is 9.
But Joliet, I get this sense watching them play. They strike me as playing like, you know, these games are, well, we're going to play hard, but, you know, they just have this feeling that they just don't believe they can be tested. You know, just they go out there and they do their thing, and a lot of people play, and they do it very well, and it doesn't really matter who we play against.
They have a 10-point lead on a team that's been ranked as high as 12th in the state. We're in the first half, 28-18. Wilson will give it off to Rollinson. Wilson off balance bank.
I think this is the thing that's bothered the coaches about Joliet when they talk about not having the killer instinct. I think the coaching staff feels like, ooh, we could put people away when we get leads, and yet that confidence that Joliet has may work in some situations against them. Good job by Rory O'Connell knocking the ball right into Oku Satcher.
And does he look like he is playing himself into basketball shape? 8 points in the half. Wilson answers and more.
Thornridge getting some space now and taking advantage of it.
Closest they've been in a while at 7 points. We're under 2 minutes. House finds
Great
Bell.
pass.
The first shot was blocked. We have 3 officials, and they're all a little bit confused. They will say a foul inside on Shelly Rollinson. Mike Flaherty, he wanted himself a travel there.
Suspect call, only that it didn't come now. It didn't come right when it happened. Gary Bell went up, something happened, ball, hands, whatever. Didn't get called, the whistle blew late. And so the Thornridge coaches clearly don't like it.
22.6 points per game average. Bell has scored 30 points in 3 of his last 5 games. He has 5 in the first half. Bell just coming off an appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show.
So what do you think of the Oprah effect so far?
I'll analyze it at halftime.
Yeah, right.
That has to do something with the kid's head when you get picked up in a limousine when you normally just jump in a car and head to school.
Well, you know, whether it's the Oprah effect, whether it's playing as a freshman, whether it's the impact that he's had based on college recruiters, the bottom line, it's in Gary Bell's best interest to wipe that stuff out, to play an unselfish game, spread the ball, share the ball with his teammates, and play as hard as he's always played on the floor, because that's what makes him a better player and makes his team a better team. All the other stuff on the periphery gets in the way. It's in his best interest, and clearly in Joliet's best interest, to wipe all that stuff out.
Hicks a chance again with a free throw here to pull within 7. Hicks has 9, Lott has 11, 20 of the 25 from the 2 guards.
Oh, Gary gave Rory the look, wanted the lob pass. Rory tried to give it to him. Wasn't there.
Thornridge, who has trailed by as many as 11, chance here to pull within 5 in a very crucial part of the game late in the first half. Rollinson looks inside to Lott, says, I'll take it myself.
Way too much space again. Gary Bell not getting out defensively. And there you got a jump shot made right away. No hesitation at all.
32-27, an 11-point lead down to 5. Thornridge has hung tough. Right now is a pretty important trip down the floor for JT with 1:15 to play in the first half. Emden back up top to O'Connell. Bell posting up the low right blocks. Oku-Satcher at the high post. Showing patience with 50 seconds.
This will be interesting to see if Joliet runs it all the way down. I think they've made that decision.
Yep, they've just gotten a sign from the sidelines. We want one. Well, their patience early in this series has set this up. Clock ticking with 25 seconds. Edmund says, no, I'm the guard here. Give me the ball. Now with 15. And 10. Here we go. Rory O'Connell. The save to House. It will be a 5-point game at the half, and Mike O'Connell is furious. He said House just got his hand ripped away from the ball. Well, Thornridge down by 11 has put themselves in a nice position going into the locker room. At the end of 2 periods on our WCTV Game of the Week, it's a 32-27 Joliet Township lead.
You are the thumbs and the eyes. You are the energy and the shine. You are the rhythm and the gift. You are the angel and the fist. You are the universe. You are the universe.
WCTV, Channel 15, the best of local sports, public affairs, and community events.
Every week here on Channel 15, we have an opportunity to see great games and great players in our Game of the Week. One of the players we've had a chance to watch the last couple of years is standing by with Frank Palmisani. He's 6'9" Nate Fox from Plainfield.
Nate, you know, you've really been a player that I've enjoyed watching. I've seen you progress last year and into this year. The thing I enjoy so much about watching you play is all of the dimensions you bring to the table. I've really enjoyed the fact that you seem to get a lot of satisfaction out of passing the basketball.
Yeah, it's great. It's just one of those things. I mean, I brought it over from the football field, I guess. I mean, it gives me that vision on the court. I mean, the guards will pass it to me and get it inside. You got to give it up to them once in a while. So,
tell us more about the way you've taken football and basketball in terms of being able to use, you know, your athletic instincts as a quarterback in football and apply that to basketball.
Probably not really reading. Like, it may be reading the offense, I guess, see where to go. It's just a lot of it's just luck, I guess. That's how it was on the football field. So,
you know, it's really been an exciting year for the Wildcats. you've had a situation where you've played some great teams. We had an opportunity to do the Sycamore game a couple weeks ago where you had to go against the premier 7-footer.
Yeah, he's always great competition. We played with each other in the summer camps down at Dave Kaplan's camp at ISU. We saw each other a couple other times, and I mean, he's always great to play against.
Nate, you're the kind of player that at the beginning of the year some college coaches clearly knew about you, but as the years progressed, more and more have really been interested, and I know the recruitment pressure has picked up during the course of the year. What's it been like for you as a senior?
It's really picked up a lot here. And I mean, new teams are getting in pretty much every weekend after they see me playing. They hear more talk about me. I mean, it's just an honor, I guess. Kids that get tired of it, I wouldn't know why. I mean, that's a great honor against some of the schools that I've talked to. So I mean, we'll just keep going with it.
And the shirt doesn't mean anything at this point, right?
Not at this point. I haven't took an unofficial there last Saturday, and I like what I saw. So hopefully we can get an official set up. Talk to Coach Van Gundy and Coach Bolwick about it.
Very good. You obviously don't have much of an opportunity to get a chance to see other high school teams play. This isn't probably a treat for you being able to get out on a Tuesday night, see two very quick and competitive teams play. What's your impressions of the first half?
Right now, I think Joliet is Tuesday. I mean, they're always Tuesday nights are very, very hard to play on. I think Joliet started getting it going there, started pulling away, and then Thornridge they started waking up, and I mean it's got to be a good game in the second half. Everybody they were measuring their teams off in that first half.
They were going to have a great opportunity to get a chance to see you in regionals. I know I could look to you in a regional and a sectional. You're playing over with Downers South, Shepherd, Downers North, some very, very competitive teams. We'll be watching you through tournament play, and we wish you the best of luck throughout the rest of this season and certainly in your college career. It's really been fun watching you and the Plainfield Wildcats.
Thank you very much.
And we're going to go to a break and then have exciting action of more quick-paced basketball, Thornridge and Joliet.
Drivers, just as a reminder, school's in session. That means more than 1 million Illinois children will ride school buses each day. Please watch out for children getting on and off school buses, and remember, once the bus pulls away, a child may dart out in front of you. Help safeguard our children. Always be on the alert when they're present. Brought to you by the Illinois Department of Transportation, Division of Traffic Safety. Protecting Illinois' future.
Throughout history, each breakthrough in the field of communications has made life more convenient and more enjoyable for all of us. And by bringing the world's most advanced technology to you, Continental Cablevision will take the next step. And you'll watch, inquire, learn what you want, bank, browse, shop, how you want, play, invest, communicate, and more. All this whenever you want.
Halftime lead, 32-27 over the Thornridge Falcons. Thornridge checks into this game with a 16-4 record, the Steelmen at 18-2. Both of these teams, their only losses have come to other powerhouses. Joliet Township, their 2 losses to Peoria Manual and Cardinal Ritter of St. Louis. For Thornridge, 4 losses to the state's #1 ranked team, Peoria Manual, the #2 ranked team, Farragut, the 6th ranked team in Thornton, and Proviso West. And it's a 5-point halftime game, and Thornridge here will look to make that 3. Lott goes to the line, and he's fouled by Bates.
Big play by Thornridge. You know, they had this situation where you just sort of, you had the feeling early in the game that Joliet was going to be in total control, and then they can inch back, make it only a 5-point deficit at halftime, and then get the big steal right here, trying to set a tone for early in the third quarter.
Well, and that's the point I was going to bring up. Might the tone of the first couple minutes of the third quarter go a long ways when you have 2 quality teams like this? Go a long ways to determining the outcome.
Oh, I think so. You know, I think momentum clearly went to Thornridge's side toward the end of the half, and that steal picks it right up here.
It is a 3-point game. 11-point lead down to 3. Lott from behind. That's a big foul on John Lott. That's his 3rd.
A lot of quickness on the floor. John Lott, quick hand is in there.
Silky smooth player at 6'4 and a half. Bell tried to bounce it in off the backside. It would not work as Kashan Combs turned around and would not allow the clean bounce. Thornridge here could cut the lead to 1. Lott. An air ball and O'Connell with it. He sees Bell ahead.
Great pass up the floor. Oh, missed dunk. Comes right back. Misses again. What a tremendous pass up the floor.
Thornridge sees an opening. Lott stops, pops. Scrapping inside, the Falcons with it. Again. One more time. Great sequence from Thornridge down on their offensive end.
Mike O'Connell, no hesitation, calling a timeout. Not very happy.
It comes with 6:57 to play in the third quarter. First minute has been all Thornridge, and that will give us an opportunity to take a look at the first half scoring leaders in this game. Lott with 11 points. He's added a pair of free throws here in the third quarter. Jermaine Hicks, the little 5'7" guard, with 9. Good balance on the other side. That's one of those good news, bad news situations. Edmund Satcher, they average in single figures. They have 8 at the half. Bell held to just 6. And we, I think, kind of see a different Gary Bell here tonight than we saw Friday night. And it is really all typified in this last little sequence, the missed dunk and the failure to put the ball back.
Yeah, throws a bad pass on an out-of-bounds play. Comes down the floor, gets the long lead, misses the dunk, doesn't get the little hit here. Obviously not hitting on all cylinders, not having one of his best games. Didn't have a lot of scoring opportunities in the first half, but you didn't have a sense that he was playing poorly. But I think perhaps not scoring the first half has impacted him psychologically, mentally, and he doesn't feel good about tonight, and he's going to sit and hear from the coach.
John Ford will replace Bell. And John Lott will go to the line. John Lott is 8 for 8 from the free throw line this evening. Get this, he is a 46% free throw shooter coming into this game. I guess we see why right there. Satcher ahead to House. Numbers working against Joel House right here. That's where Rory O'Connell needs to be a steadying influence right here. Stillman have seen an 11-point lead wither away. House up short. John Ford, the big rebound. He will go to the line.
Good job on the part of Michael Mines and Rory O'Connell, continuing to work the ball, get the easy shot. The one didn't go down. But, you know, if you take your time and you're patient, you get good shots. Normally, those balls are going to go down for Joliet. But if they don't, their opportunities to get second shots are enormous.
Darrell Russell's first foul. They had Chip Bates on the scoreboard with 4 fouls. He is on the bench. John Ford at the line, well, he just doesn't like to be there. 31%. He's made only 11 of 35, make that 11 of 36 now on the season. His first points of the night. 33-29, the lead at 4. Thornridge had a chance to cut it to 1 moments ago.
John Ford's got a guard away from the basket against Rollinson, excuse me. We'll see Thornridge try to go inside.
They do so to Lott. House away with the rebound. He averages over 4 a game. Michael Mines steps on the sideline.
Those are the kind of little things that happen in a game that, you know, for some reason, in the big games where the score's tight and it's a really well played, you don't see. But in games where all of a sudden you're into this lull streak, those types of things happen to you.
Kashan Combs.
Oh, good job. Execution. Tough, very difficult. Guarding down there when you get that reverse pivot. Great pass inside to John Lott.
15 points from Lott. And folks, this is a 2-point game. Thornridge has played 10 different players. Fatigue should not be a problem with them.
Go to their 1-3-1 half-court trap. Good pass down low.
Satcher to Ford will not go. The Falcons could tie. Hicks to push. For the lead. Well, they'll say it's a 2. The outside official had his arms raised. The underneath official says, I had a better look.
Good communication from one official to the other. They both eyeballed one another, wanted to make sure that if they got a call, they're both going to get the same call. The outside official pulled back.
We are tied at 33. House out of control. We look back into that second quarter of play. Mike Flaherty's team outscored Joliet 20-18, and that was after you had made the comment, Frank, after the first quarter, holding the Falcons to just 7 points.
Right, and right now, Gary Bell gets brought into the game. He's going to need to be a big spark for the Joliet club. We're in a tie ball game. Joliet obviously not very pleased with themselves on the floor. We'll see what happens in the next 5 minutes of this quarter.
Great helping defense by the Steelman. This is away from the ball, and I think House may be called for a hold.
House trying to work hard, but doing a good job. John Lott posting him up. You look at that size situation, you say to yourself, Joel House is going to have his hands full.
One thing to keep in mind now, Thornridge has played all these great teams. They were not intimidated by Joliet. They certainly do not appear to be intimidated, obviously, right at this point. This is not a team that when you get them down will back off. We have seen that. Hicks for the lead.
No hesitation on the part of Hicks. Came around that screen. Three-point shot. We haven't seen many situations throughout the last 2 years where Joliet has been down. Here's one of them.
36-33. Mines is behind the stripe.
Michael Mines has not been able to establish any rhythm at all tonight. He hasn't had enough shots, and the ones he's had, people have been running at him. They've done a good job of applying pressure on the perimeter. But good pass on the part of Rory O'Connell getting Michael the ball.
John Lott picks up foul number 4. It comes with 4:36 to play in the third quarter. Thornridge outscoring Joliet 22-8 since an 11-point Steelman lead. But now Mike Flaherty has to work things out without his superstar.
You know, I think we've got to give Mike Flaherty a tremendous amount of credit. He allowed his team to continue to hang in there in the first half, work like crazy on the bench. It's interesting because I had the sense that Thornridge in the early phase of the game played a lot like Joliet has since about the midpoint of the second quarter or toward the end of the second quarter, almost in a deep sleep on the floor. And Flaherty was really working hard almost every possession to coach his players through it. Kept his kids in the game, and now we're in a situation where, look at where they're at. They're up 3.
One of the people in attendance tonight is Daily Southtown reporter Mike Walsh. Mike will be a guest of ours on Inside Local Sports on the 22nd of February, so be sure to join us. It'll be Dick Goss, Scott Slocum, Mike Walsh, and myself, and we'll be talking about the state basketball tournament coming up. But Mike made the comment before the ball game to us, Frank, what a great bench coach he really feels Mike Flaherty is, and that goes to your point right there.
Mike's been around a long time, had great success with the old Menzel Catholic team. I don't know if you remember Banks, I want to say Banks, and I can't remember the other young man's name, but they played in the state tournament, played a great game against Quincy down in Champaign. Mike had that team and has done great things with Thornridge.
And he very tragically lost his wife to cancer last year. Mike took a year off from coaching after his wife was diagnosed with cancer. Took a year off last year. His wife passed away, and Mike has returned to the coaching ranks.
And hopefully coaching is therapeutic as well for Mike Flaherty.
Not what Mike O'Connell wanted to see coming out of a timeout.
Joliet's going to have to do it on the defensive end. That's been the key all year. They've been able to apply pressure, turn defense into offense.
Some fresh legs into the game for Thornridge.
Thornridge with good screens.
They're working without John Lott, but they have that man Hicks.
And so when John Lott comes out, Hicks takes over.
38-33. Joliet has scored 1 point in the first 4 minutes of this second half. Thornridge with 11. Mines trying to catch the ball into rhythm.
Beautiful pass.
Great feed from Bell down to Satcher.
Great series of passes, rotation of the ball.
Joliet within 3. There's some beef for you. Satcher and Russell.
Fans started to get into it. They need that. Joliet could use a picker up from the 6th man. Joliet Township fans.
Whistle underneath, the held ball, possession to Thornridge. .332 to play in the third quarter. This third quarter has belonged to the Falcons. And O'Connell is able to cause some havoc inside.
Nice pass up the floor, Rory O'Connell.
2 great passes have led to 2 straight buckets.
Again, we talked about it, defense to offense, we saw it there.
38-37, Thornridge 1 point lead. Hicks, a push off. Nope, Edmond.
That was one of those calls, you just had a sense it could go either way. Michael Connell wanted the backcourt push off on the offensive end, and I thought by gnawing it officially might have gotten a call here. No way, says Mr. Referee. I'll call it as I see it.
Of course, this is Mike's last year in the coaching ranks. He has announced that very early. Ryan Bannis into the ball game for Thornridge. This is Jermaine Hicks. Hicks has 7 points in the third quarter. He is the floor leader right now. Inside position of Mines. Well, Joliet could lead. Edmond.
Hard Bell.
Yes.
He scores with contact. We said it the last time we saw these guys play. Guys rebound the ball, and when they get fouled, they don't score. He scores when he gets fouled.
A 6-point burst here by Joliet. A pass from Bell, a pass from O'Connell, a putback from Bell. .39-38 is the Joliet lead with 2:47 to play in the third quarter. Gary is 2 for 2 from the line this evening. He has 8 points. And it's a 2-point Joliet lead.
I like the contribution Dwayne Edmond has made.
His season high in 10 points, but his passing has also set things up. Mines again will track it down. And of course, Thornridge playing without John Lott. O'Connell fights Bell, great catch.
Oh, geez, great job. Great athletic ability. Good pass, thought it was going out of bounds. Gary Bell keeps it in place and comes up with a score.
9 straight points run off by Joliet. You can tell Thornridge a little bit out of their rhythm with their star player, John Lott, on the bench with 4 fouls. There's a walk.
What is momentum? Explain that to me. Explain the emotions of the game, the psyche of the game, the word momentum. It's almost as if you're watching different teams.
An 11-1 run by Thornridge, now wiped out by a 9-0 run by Joliet. Mines.
It's going down. I'm wrong.
Not this time, Russell. Bell nearly ties him up. Hicks. O'Connell. Mines cannot save it. Mike Flaherty is saying on the Thornridge sideline to himself, get me into the fourth quarter. I'm down by 4. I can accept that with my star on the bench.
Right, yeah, he's got to hang close so he can bring Lott back in.
90 seconds to play in the third period. Rollinson outside. Brad Martin on the dribble. This does not bother Mike Flaherty. Baseline move, Lester Wilson out of control, but this one goes against the Steelman.
Dwayne Edmond trying to come over and help on the help side. But what happens is Lester Wilson got in the air so quickly that when he got there defensively, Wilson was already in the air, and the foul's going to get called against the defense.
Third foul on Edmond. Joel House has 3. Michael Mines with 3. Chip Bates has 4. We mentioned the free throw shooting percentages out of whack early in the game. Thornridge has been shooting spectacularly. They are a 53% team on the season. Wilson a 47% shooter from the line. 42-39, Joliet the lead. They had trailed 38-33. Now how will Joliet choose to play this?
Mike Lutz wants the ball held. Mike Lutz is a main cog in terms of the development of the offense, one of the assistant coaches for Joliet. Bob Kaskowski is the defensive specialist. So when the ball's in Joliet's hand, you see Mike doing a lot of talking.
Rory O'Connell just changes things up a little bit. And we have 30 seconds to play in the third quarter. There's some careless passes up top. Lester Wilson chasing the ball for Thornridge.
They'll hold it up. Take the last shot. Joliet really, you know, you almost feel like whenever they get to that 1 minute marker down in the quarter, they're just very, very content on getting the last shot.
8 seconds. 3.
Right there. Good in and out pass. Ball was right there.
Two teams combined for a 38-6 record, and it's a 3-point game at the end of 3 quarters. The Steelmen, the 42-39 advantage.
For the best television coverage of what is happening in your community, nobody beats Continental Cablevision Channel 15. This week and every week, all year long, WCTV 15 will be bringing you the finest in sports, arts, community affairs, and special events programming right into your living room. So tune into local life every day on WCTV 15, your community connection.
The state tournament gets underway for the girls, and that is where we will be for our Game of the Week coverage. On February 16th, it will be a regional final. The site to be announced later. We have to see how things go, and you can rest assured that we will take girls basketball as long as one of our area teams advances on through the tournament. All right, now it's boys action. It's some great action, a 3-point game. Joliet has lost only twice in 20 games. Thornridge has tasted defeat just 4 times in their 20 outings this year. Joliet trailed by 5 in the third quarter, ran off 9 straight, and now lead at 42-39. Chip Bates in, kicks it out Mines. O'Connell plows his way in. Rory put his shoulder down. Mike O'Connell is furious. I'm not sure. He's okay. He's upset at the official. You know, and I wonder whether Rory could have gotten away with that if his shoulder didn't duck. Now, I don't know whether he was tripped or, but his dad's none too happy.
Rory threw the ball up because he thought that he was fouled and wanted to get some contact for a shot. He's got to get in on the defense and look to dish the ball out.
John Lott is still on the Thornridge bench. Nice catch inside from Martin. Bell is there. So we keep an eye on the Falcon bench to see how long number 22 is sitting there. Thornridge, a little bit more pressure here.
Great pass.
And Bell finds the bucket.
Good job on the part of Dwayne Edmond, again making a great contribution to his club, dribble penetrating and finding Gary Bell.
44-39. Russell pops out. Hicks hit a big three-pointer in the third quarter. This is Shelly Rollinson.
Late getting out, soft on defense. Oh, push it up the floor. Nice job of seeing the floor on the part of Rory O'Connell.
And here comes Lott with 6:33 left. He sat about 6 minutes, and he has 6.5 to stay away from picking up his 5th personal foul. That one goes against Shelly Rollinson, his 3rd. Bell at the line. He had 6 points at the half. Put 5 more on the scoreboard in the 3rd quarter and has a bucket here in the 4th. He has 13. Dwayne Edmond and Oku Satcher with 10 apiece. On the other side, Jermaine Hicks has 16. John Lott with 15.
When does the presence of John Lott demonstrate itself on the floor?
About 5 seconds when it goes the other way. See how aggressive he is offensively with those 4 fouls. Soft touch from Bell. The lead is at 5. Brad Martin will work against Michael Mines. Kashawn Combs will give it up to Lott.
There's Lott. He's just looking. When can I go one-on-one?
Hicks behind the line. 3. Pulls Thornridge within 2.
See, Lott created that because the dribble penetration caused so many of the Joliet players go to him. Someone else was open.
Edmond on a quick shot. Fouled. He'll be at the line for 2. Rollinson not happy at all. His 4th.
Well, you know, we've got an interesting game because you have this sense right now the officials are going to take total control of it, don't you, Dave? It's just going to be whistle to whistle to whistle to whistle.
So now 2 Falcons with 4 fouls, Rollinson and Lott. For Joliet, Mines with 3, Edmond with 3, House with 3, and Bates with 4. Dwayne Edmond, his season high with 11 points this evening. He has been sweet from the free throw line where he is 6 of 6. Martin will give it up to Lott. Now House is on Lott. Every time down the floor, John Lott sees somebody different guarding him. Lott, one-on-one, pull up, bang.
Tough for Joel House.
It is a 2-point game. 5:35 to play. Mines has been very quiet this evening. He gives it up to Edmond. 3-pointer for Edmond, and he is having a big game.
Start a game, no doubt about it. That young man right there. What a ball game tonight.
15 points. They've all come in the last 3 quarters. That's a big foul there. Edmond, his 4th.
You get the ball in the hands of Jermaine Hicks. You get the ball in the hands of John Lott, and you are going to have your hands full defensively. What do you do against those guys, Dave? You know, do you become the invisible man and create your body into 3 places? Because, I mean, they're going to get past you.
Hicks missed the Thornton game. That was a game that Thornridge played very, very close to the Wildcats. Thornton considered maybe the best team in the south suburbs. One wonders what would happen had Hicks been there. He used every bit of the rim there. He has 20 points. Hicks averages 13.1. The lead will stay at 4. Coming up on 5 minutes to play the game. Edmond throws it away.
Hard to take. Such an easy pass. One of those turnovers that was uncaused.
Lott and House. One-handed rebound from Bell.
Little bit of defensive pressure on the bottom as he was going up. Distorted that shot.
Joliet spreads the floor a little bit here with Bell in the corner. Edmond. They'll say, what's the call? We've got an official outside who calls a walk. That's who they go with.
That one wasn't going to go over well with the crowd. Blow the whistle, blow the whistle. Let's look at one another. Which one's going to have to take the punch and make the call? And the outside official has to call traveling. Guy inside didn't want any part of that, baby. He just looked out, you make it. I don't want these guys against me.
(51-47). Thornridge down by 4. Clearing out for Lott. And he just was never in control on that one. Big trip gone awry for Thornridge there.
Joliet needs a basket.
A lot of skip passes tonight against this Thornridge defense.
Good job.
Pop out to Mines. He just can't buy it this evening. Bell over the back.
Good job on the part of Gary Bell, getting that skip pass, giving Michael Mines an opportunity to free himself for a three-point shot. Again, we talked about it earlier, Michael Mines has not been in the rhythm tonight. He normally makes those jumpers.
Mines averages 14 points per game. He is scoreless this evening. His previous low this year was 5 points, the 4th game of the season against Rich Central. This would break a string of 6 straight double-figure games for Michael. Clock stopped with 3:58. Shelley Rollinson at the line for a 1-and-1. Again, reminder, both these teams shooting poorly from the free throw line this season. Martin crashes and finishes. 51-49.
And we're going to have a ball game in the last 2 minutes.
Mines to Bell. Lefty. House there for the offensive rebound. He'll go to the line for 2 as he's fouled by Kashan Combs.
House just hung in the air until he got fouled. He wasn't going to come down until somebody got the hack.
Now House is no bargain at the line. 47.6. 20 of 42. He missed his only free throw attempt earlier. Joel House averaging 11.7. That is just his 3rd point of the night.
Well, you know, we talked about it. One of the keys, Thornridge, what they said they had to do. Know where Bell was on the floor. Gary Bell, his point total's down. Do a job on House, do a job on Mines in the perimeter. The other players have been the difference. Thornridge has executed their game plan from a defensive standpoint.
With 3.5 minutes to play, Thornridge, a long one, would tie this one up. Jermaine Hicks, really a nice ball player at 5 feet 7 inches. Good help side defense from Bell. He sees Mines. Great strip inside by Brad Martin.
No quickness on the floor tonight.
To tie, yes!
Oh, there's some Thornridge fans here.
Straight up 3 minutes. We are tied at 52. Thornridge and Joliet Township. High post Bell. Lob down Satcher. He pushed.
Away, no question about it. Call it on that one. He got him right in the back. Gave it the shove.
And we have fans on both sides of the floor on their feet.
And John Lott was praying when he was down on the floor. Just praying that they got the call the way he wanted it to go. He's got the 4 fouls.
Lott is 8 for 10 from the free throw line this evening, but he missed his last 2. And a reminder, if you play the law of percentages, Lott is just a 46% free throw shooter on the season. 1-and-1.
He's a what percent?
I'm telling you, it says 45.8%.
It's hard to believe.
I checked it twice. That free throw gives Thornridge the lead with 2:48 to play. They have fought back after being outscored 9-0 and trailing by 5. They fought back for the 1-point lead. and a ball free in their lane. Possession, Thornridge.
Fumble! The Bears have it. Oh. Don't you remember? That was a great. We're going way back. Brickhouse and Irv Compson.
Oh, those are my men.
How about it? Fumble! The Bears have it.
Thornridge's third timeout comes with 2:44. They lead by a point. Joliet has been in some close ball games this year. I mean, they're 18-2. You have to win a few close ball games. They won down in Pontiac against Danville, 70-69. That was a tight ball game all the way. The Steelmen pulled it out late. They fell to Cardinal Ritter of St. Louis up at DePaul in big shootout there, 79-78 on a shot in the final seconds. But right now they are challenged by another one of the top teams around. And I get the feeling here, even though Thornridge is up by a point, they may not have played their best game of the season, because Sean Combs has been weakened by the flu all week long. He has not been a factor, the factor that he has been earlier in the year. But yet they lead it by the single digit.
Right, you know, Thornridge is a team that you don't blow out. There's got so much talent that you may get a run, you may get a big lead, but that talent will just keep coming at you, and it certainly has tonight. You know, early in the game, Jermaine Hicks didn't look like he was going to be the jump shooting threat, and then all of a sudden, whoo! No, it takes your breath away with his ability to get up quickly and hit the three-point shots.
He has 3 of those here this evening. On the season, he has 34, so it's not a fluke. Mike O'Connell trying to make sure his team does not lose their 4th game in the last 2 years.
That's not for each of the last 2 years.
No,
That's
sir.
a total of 4.
Combined. House with the quick hands, and he's fouled. Kashawn Combs.
You know, there is definitely one thing we can say about this basketball game, and it's probably true of most. Why is it that neither coach likes referees? Every call, you look over there and the guys are shrugging their shoulders. And
well, that's because there's 3 of them on the floor. There's always one passing by you.
That's right. Always somebody to dislike.
They've said it all year, both these coaches have. We have to hit the free throws in the crucial situations. House does there to tie it at 53. 2:41 to play. Joel House held to just 4 points. Two big ones. Steelman 1-point lead.
Again, I think you're going to see Thornridge try to go down to John Lott, being guarded by Joel House. Size advantage, Thornridge.
The quickness advantage might be a push. House working to get free, or make that Lott working to get free from House.
There's the post up. There it is, the lob.
Great lob inside from Martin.
And good help.
Clock stops with 2:18 and a 1-point Joliet lead.
3 coaches and a part of Joliet trying to analyze what they want to do against that isolation down in there.
Lott to trigger. Martin. Hicks and Edmond. Dwayne Edmond talking to Jermaine Hicks.
There it is again. There's the post up the lob. Gary Bell's ready on the weak side.
Rollinson to Hicks. Inside. Oh, my.
I don't believe it.
25 points for Hicks, a 1-point lead for Thornridge with 1:50 to play.
Mike Flaherty wants his defense to contract, go closer to the basket, not spread out.
Oku Satcher on the right corner. O'Connell. House. Long range Bell. Joel House, great hands.
Part of Joel House. Good rhythm, Gary Bell, just one step too far.
Minute 20. Joliet down by a point.
Joliet's got to be attack conscious.
Now Lott ran into House.
Which one? Yes.
Joel House, the foul.
Yes.
Huge, huge
don't
ball.
like it. Joel House is hurt. Joel House is hurt.
If that goes the other way, John Lott is fouled out of the game. Instead, Joel House will have a seat. He is done for the evening with 1:14 left and a 1-point Thornridge lead. Mike O'Connell gets 30 seconds to make a substitution. He is using that entire time to talk to the officials.
And Bob Koskowski's getting a word in as well.
Mike Mines in. Lott at the line. He's missed 3 of his last 4.
Well, you know, certainly important call, but certainly not the most crucial call of the game. You still have 1:14 left. You're down 1. Thornridge has got to make 2 free throws. You still have an opportunity, 1 shot to get back in it. If Thornridge misses, you're still in as good of opportunity to win and convert here with the score and then play good defense.
Inside position to Bell, foul Combs.
And they'll go right back to the free throw line.
John Lott has 18 points. He hit his first 8 free throws. He has made 1 of his last 5. If you're looking at Gary Bell's ledger, he is 5 of 6. He missed his last free throw, but yet a steady free throw shooter. He leads Joliet at 71.4% from the line.
Gary's had a long day. Started with Oprah this morning. Been on the road.
Check that. Gary has not missed a free throw. This will be his opening shot on a 1-and-1. Will not go. Satcher there.
Look at Oku Satcher. Look at Oku Satcher. The inspiration of the team often over and over.
1-point lead, 56-55. We have exactly 60 seconds to play. Rollinson looking for help. Takes it himself. Finds Combs. Thornridge the lead.
Great dish off.
45 seconds left.
You don't want 1 shot. You want a dribble attack. You gotta move the ball and try to get a good shot.
Mines pulls up.
You wouldn't think he'd take it, but Gary's there for the rebound, takes it hard, scores to put Joliet up 1.
With 20 seconds left, the state's 3rd-ranked team leads it by a point. 15 seconds remaining. Lott is...
Oh, he debated, and decides the home team will get the call. There's no way when the whistle blew, he knew which one he was going to call. He had to think about it for a while, weighed all the consequences in his mind, and said, the home team gets the call in the last 15 seconds.
Timeout, Joliet.
I love it.
JT had an 11-point first-half lead. It was cut to 5 at the end of the first half. An 11-1 run by Thornridge early in the 3rd quarter gave them a 38-33 lead. And then the Steelmen came right back, ran off the next 6 points. And we're at a 1-point game with 12 seconds left, possession to the Steelmen.
Well, you know, there's so much drama. You know, so much opportunity to find things to talk about. I think what you really have to do is center on the last 12 seconds here, wipe everything else out, and talk about what could potentially happen in these 12 seconds to try to prepare your team for all situations. You know, I think both coaching staffs obviously have done a good job of that. They continue to do a good job of that throughout the year, and now they have an opportunity to, you know, talk it through, work it through, so that their kids understand the options and the opportunities here. Thornridge obviously wants to have something happen so they can get the ball back. They may foul right away. They may go for a steal if they can't get the steal foul, but they have to do something to get the ball back.
Full court pressure put on by Thornridge. They give to O'Connell. Ahead to Mines. Clock under 10. Satcher is there. Great catch, Satcher. No. Satcher may have gotten away with one there with 4 seconds remaining.
Oku Satcher is absolutely relentless under the basket.
4 seconds to play. Oku Satcher has been to the free throw line twice this season. They have both come in this game. He knocked them both down. He will be shooting with a 1-point Joliet lead. Joliet backs off the line. Timeout, Thornridge. 1 second, I was going to say, I thought he had 2 free throws, but a second fell off the clock. They will have to put a second back. There's 3 seconds left, there were 4. Now on the second free throw, Gary Bell will get inside. Satcher at the line wants this one. With 4 seconds left, however, well, you're thinking 3-point play. I mean, that's about the only thing you have time to do.
Right, a lot of things can happen. I think if you're Mike Flaherty, you're going to rebound the ball, call timeout, or if they score, call timeout. At some point, you want to be able to set something up here.
Awaiting the resetting of the clock, there it is. Thornridge is down by 1. Satcher is at the line.
Timeout.
And that may not be the worst thing that could happen to Thornridge right here. No time has left the clock. You have 4 seconds. The length of the floor to go. You are down by 2. Draw it up for me, Coach.
Well, the play that became very, very famous is a play they call the home run, where they'll take the ball out of bounds underneath, throw the ball down to the free throw line. The idea is not for the player to catch the ball, but to actually tip the ball back out. There will be 2 players positioned at half court. They will run to the side. The ball will go to the free throw line, up in the air. You'll tip it to the side with the hope that your perimeter player can catch the ball on the run and get a last-second shot. Obviously, if you had great size, you might want to try to throw that ball and have somebody catch it and shoot it. But I think Thornridge is going to have to try to out-quick it, get up quickly, and tip it back. So we might see home run. The other possibility is to throw the ball to half court and then just take a 1-dribble long shot from the player who catches it. You don't have enough time to really set up anything more than that 1 desperation shot, and so it's got to be 1 or 2 passes and the last-second shot.
Where do you play your defense?
Defensively, I think what you're going to see is a man-to-man matchup that'll start at half court. What you could possibly see is the tallest player in the part of Joliet, like Ford, coming in and making it difficult for the player inbounding the ball to throw the long pass. They're not going to do that. They're going to play at half court, pick up man-to-man, and attempt to have everything pushed in front of them and not let a Thornridge player get behind. This will be the home run player. Watch the 2 players at half court. The ball will be thrown to number 32 directly.
He is at the free throw line.
34 and 11 will run. I'm wrong.
Mines gets a hand on it. Martin is in trouble, and that is the ball game.
And Joliet survives.
2 teams that came in with a combined 34-6 record. Their only losses on the season have come to some of the state's greatest teams. And we had ourselves a ball game here tonight that lived up to its billing. The Steelman 59-57 winners. Don't you go away. We've got more coming up from Joliet Central.
Continental Cablevision, committed to progress, to improvement, to the community, is hard at work reconstructing and upgrading equipment to build a state-of-the-art cable system using the technology of the future. These improvements would provide a system of new and better entertainment and information choices. So what does this mean to our customers? It means the clearest, most reliable reception ever. Continental Cablevision, looking to the future.
My wish is to visit my grandparents on their farm and pet the cats and ride the horse. and just be able to see them.
My wish is to meet the Golden State Warriors basketball team. I like dinner.
These kids aren't asking for very much. Please, help us give it to them.
Well, it's a 2-point win for Joliet Township, and with this, I mean, two of the hardest working guys around tonight, Bob Koskowski and Mike Lutz, assistant coaches for Joliet Township. Bob, later on in that ball game, it's a position you guys have been in a few times this year, but there was just a different feeling tonight.
Well, I think we handled it well. I'm glad we won the game because I think we're going to have games like this later on, Dave. So it was a big win for us in this close a ball game. We were up, and then we were down in the second quarter. We clawed back again, then we get down again in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes. I think we were down 2 or 3, something like that, and they were just killing us. I mean, we were on them tough. They were hitting the long shots, as the fans will see in the tape and the rebroadcast, and we didn't fall apart. And we came back, and we hit some nice free throws in the fourth quarter. I think our free throw percentage is going to be pretty good, and just a test to the fellas and to Mike Lutz, because Mike's got the offense, and he kept them together, so him and Mike O'Connell. So it was a good ball game for us to win.
Let's talk a little bit from an offensive perspective as we have the architect of the defense and the architect of the offense here. Mike, one of the things we've really noticed about Joliet throughout this year and last year was you get down to about 1 minute left in a quarter and you're looking always to hold the ball for the last shot. Tell us your thinking in that whole series and why you're always looking to hold the ball and get the last shot of a quarter.
Oh, we've been trying to instill some discipline a little bit, first of all, from the beginning of the year. But again, if we've got the lead and the ball, and they're not going to trap us, we'll take the last shot. You know, if we've been playing well, why not take the last shot into the next quarter or half?
You know, one of the things also I noticed from that perspective, oftentimes it appears as if when you've been able to hold the ball, you've been able to stretch the defense out and perhaps have some scoring opportunities that you wouldn't have if you went with your regular attack offense.
Exactly, exactly. We like to get Gary even sometimes out from the post. He likes to do it as well. But again, spreading the defense out, extending them, then we can penetrate, look to dish, maybe hit a nice jump shot, and it does work that way sometimes.
Kaz, when you're trying to figure out what you're going to do defensively against a team like that, with that quickness, you're facing those, you know, extremely quick one-on-one players. What are you really trying to accomplish when you know oftentimes you can get beat on the perimeter on a dribble?
Well, Frank, I thought we did an outstanding job the first half containing them. We played soft 100. We gave them a big cushion so that they couldn't drive us, you know, from half court or from full court all the way into the bucket, okay? And they only had 25 points or close to it, I believe, at halftime, approximately 25. And that's good for us. I mean, we want to hold people around 50. So we did an outstanding job there. Then in the second half, they started to drive us, and they pulled up, and they made some just outstanding shots around the three-point line. And we had people, like we talked about before, in their face. What can you do when a club gets hot like that? I guess you just keep going. We try a little bit of our 1-3-1 once in a while, but basically we stayed in our man. It's our bread and butter, and finally it worked out for us. But they had 2 or 3 guys driving the hole a lot, and then they pulled up. What are you going to do? You know, you got to stay with what you have. And I thought Oku Satcher did an outstanding job. Chip Bates and Dwayne did a heck. Thanks, Fred. Thanks, Dave. Dwayne did a nice job. But you're going to get beat once in a while, and you can't let it affect you. Hopefully we'll have more help inside next time on that.
You know, we've talked, Dave and I have talked about the contributions you've gotten from players 8-9 deep. Mike O'Connell has really set a tempo of substituting guys early in the game. I'd like to talk to a little bit about the contribution from the team coaching standpoint. You know, if you've watched Joliet, one of the things you obviously see is you guys really communicate with one another on the bench during the course of the game. Walk us through some of the things that you do talk about to one another as the game develops.
Although I'm the offensive coach and Ski's the defensive coach, it's kind of like the Buddy Ryan thing. We get on each other a little once in a while, but he's got some offensive insights as well. Sometimes I and Mike do both ways, so we can communicate either way and listen freely to one another, which is nice.
And sometimes you'll see Mike just, you know, get upset too with us and just say, give me the chalk. And, you know, then Mike's head coach, and he knows what he knows he's been around the game a long time, then he makes a change, and it works out for the best, and everything's going good. So, you know, all 3 guys are working for the same goal. We're working to win, you know, and it's worked out real well. And we get frustrated with ourselves sometimes, I think, as well as maybe the players too sometimes. We need to polish our act a little bit more, defensively and offensively.
Kind of like when Dave wants the mic, he just sort of gives me a nudge. Give me the mic.
In fact, I'm going to tell you right now, we've got to go. Congratulations, guys. Nice going.
Thanks a lot. All right, thanks.
All right, well, Frank, I don't know if we can get much better than 59-57. We take it down to the very last shot. We talk about two of the top teams in the state. And they come away with a local win.
Oh, it was fun to watch. You know, it was fun to watch not only for the players and the quickness, but it was fun to watch because we had a close game at the end of the game. We had some strategy on both sides. Just fun basketball.
Next time I will see you will be, what, about 2 weeks or so. It's time for some girls basketball here on 15.
And then after that, we get
out.
into March Madness.
All right, you stay right there on Channel 15, and we hope you enjoyed this one. 59-57, Joliet Township over Thornridge. For Frank Palmasani, I'm Dave Bernhardt. We'll see you around.
Tube Insider.